What's up, everyone? Heading down to the beach. I'm gonna do some metal detecting. It's a beautiful day today. Just leaving my house. I know the camera's all crooked, but that's the best I can do right now. I'm just trying to do a little bit of a video just to get a little bit of a head start before I get down there. Should only take about maybe 10 minutes to get there. From here to the parking spot, I'm just gonna park in the same lot that I did last time. That's the plan, and yeah, well, hopefully we'll have some open parking spots. I'm sure there will be. It wouldn't surprise me if it's like less than half capacity. So yeah, just cruising down the neighborhood street. I'm gonna take a left at this next light up here. So hopefully I'll get lucky again, find another cool earring like the one I found yesterday. That was awesome. Yeah, one could hope. But yeah, I was having some pretty good luck yesterday in that spot. I swore that I detected up and down that area of the beach, but I guess I must have just detected just up against the shoreline, and I wasn't really hitting anything in the back of the beach around the dunes. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, I'm getting a little bit of a late start, at least during the week standards. I usually if I'm going right after, and that probably looks even worse, doesn't it? Yeah, that looks worse. All right. But yeah, like during the work week, I usually try to leave to head up there like around 4:30-ish. The goal is for me to try to get there by 5. So that way I don't have to deal with all this, rush hour stuff. So I'm just waiting on these guys. Obviously there's a good long line of cars here. I have to just patiently wait my turn. There we go. Man, it might take longer than 10 minutes to get there just because of the traffic. If all the lights are green, how many lights are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. If all 4 of them are green, then I could get there in like 8 minutes maybe. Just all depends on the traffic situation. I don't have a lot of time. I only have probably about an hour. Once I get out there and get set up, probably be about an hour. All right, this is Park Boulevard. This is the road that takes you straight to the beach. Here we go. Red. This light's always red. All the freaking time. It's always red. Always red. It is what it is. Gulf Beaches. That's plural, obviously. But coming up here toward the bridge, I'm in the left lane right now, of course, but I need to be in the right lane, but whatever. Traffic tends to turn right here at this light. That's why sometimes I avoid the right lane. As you can see. Oh, truck broken down. But yeah, if you go left up here, that'll take you down to St. Pete Beach, Madeira Beach, Treasure Island, Johns Pass. But I'm gonna go right. We're gonna go north. So, and I'm just gonna stick to Indian Shores. Stay close. Since I don't have a lot of time, I'm not gonna do, any kind of prospecting the right areas or anything like that. I'm just gonna stick to what I know works. And yesterday, the area of beach that I scanned, it worked. It was nice. I ended up with 20 items yesterday. Only went searching for maybe like an hour and 10 minutes, something like that. Not very long. All right, here we go. Good. This guy in front of me, he's not driving like a grandma. He's actually going 35 and a 30. It's not very common, really. Most people, they'll go like 25 miles an hour down the road. It gets annoying, but I mean, I'm used to it. It's just the way it is here. Indian Shores. Salt Rock Grill. That's a nice place. It's expensive. The food's good. I mean, I would say it's like Bonefish Grill basically, but they use a special combination of wood. But whatever they use, man, their food, like smoky wise, it tastes really good. But as far as the quality goes, I'd say it's probably on par with like Outback Steakhouse or Bonefish Grill, something like that. But it's expensive. And it's probably like $40 a plate, something like that. And this traffic light here is where we're going. I'm gonna turn right into this parking spot, or parking lot. And find a spot here. Okay, good, it's not very busy. I did have to pay last time because they finally fixed the kiosk. The kiosk had been out of order for about a week, but they finally got around to fixing it, so I gotta pay to park. It's $2.50 an hour, which I think's insane, but whatever. All right, I'll be back. Well, come back to you in 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Car's all locked up. Start making my way over here to the... Oh wait, hold on. Oh man, come on. Oh man, that camera got all out of focus. Please don't do this to me again, camera. Please cooperate today. I greatly appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna pay real quick. Be back in 3, 2, 1. And you are parked. We're good to go. So let's head to the beach. See if I can get across the street without triggering her. All right, just like yesterday. Sweet. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, for it being rush hour, traffic's not that bad up here. Of course, rush hour, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really apply that much to the beach though. I mean, people here, generally, they're not trying to get to and from work. Although there are a lot of people who live here year round that live on the beach and they do have to go to work, but I'd say the majority are not really on rush hour time. They're on, it's 5 o'clock somewhere time. So, all right. So I think I'm gonna head up to I'm gonna go left here again, just like I did yesterday. Remember the patch of grass? If you're tuning in from yesterday. Oh yeah, some nice color out there. Some greens and blues, just like yesterday. All right, let's start heading down here. That's about the same amount of people as yesterday. Yep, I can already see the patch of grass. And that's where I'm gonna start. If this is your first time checking out one of my videos, welcome. I recently well, just only the last couple of days, I've been just letting the video just play out. Before then, I would pause the video in between finds, and I may go back to that method. But for now, it's, as long as I'm feeling like a chatty Cathy, I'll just let the camera roll. But I mean, if I'm not really in the talkative mood, or if I bring my earbuds and I feel like listening to a podcast, I'll probably pop those in and just stay quiet. Unless, I'm always up for criticism. If the majority of people who watch my videos, if they prefer that I don't talk, if they just want me to stick to what I'm here for and just scanning, digging, if you want to hear just the background, the ambiance of the beach, the ocean, the waves, the birds, and all that, I'm totally up for that too. I'm not doing this video for me, I'm doing it for y'all. So I'm always open to criticism. All right, so I'm gonna head right over here by where these group of people are. Let me just follow these tire tracks. So I put in parking for 1 hour, and I might go just slightly over that, maybe like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Maybe not, I don't know. My goal is to head out like around maybe 6:30, 6:40. I think it's about 5:30 right now, so pretty much the exact same amount of time as yesterday. I have the same schedule as I did yesterday as far as running errands, doing some transportation. I'd rather come out here now and let rush hour just pass me by. And then when I wrap up here, and then I have to go out and do my errands and my running around and all that, rush hour's died down by then. The only drawback is that I'm out and about later on in the day. It would be nice if I could just take care of everything as soon as I'm done working, which I do sometimes. Just this week, it just hadn't played out that way. I can't wait for my daughter to start her summer break. It's gonna be freaking sweet. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my detector on. That's all good to go. I don't really have to do any kind of unpacking or anything. I've got everything on me already. The only thing I really have to do is just adjust it. Looks good to me. Fire it up. I hope my camera's in focus. I'm sure it's not, but okay, yeah, it is. Good. Good. I don't know why I kept having problems with that yesterday. After a certain point, I didn't even have my sunglasses on because for the 15 millionth time, my sunglasses are polarized, just like everybody else's. And I'm sure we all know by now, if you're wearing polarized sunglasses during the daytime, it's kind of a pain in the ass to see your phone screen, especially when it's tilted horizontally or landscape mode. So I do sincerely apologize. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to take them off. I'm taking off the sunglasses. Just 1 second. Put them somewhere where they're not going to get all scratched up. All right. Rock and roll. Here we go. Let the scanning begin. Whoops. Oh yeah, here, let me do It's working. I always tap it up against my tripod just to make sure that it's working. There was one time I found out the hard way when I just got the detector. It's a cheap little knockoff. That's why I scan the dry parts of the beach and not the wet parts, the shoreline. I'll get there. Once I've scanned, I don't know, the entire beach all the way across Pinellas County, up and down, maybe then I'll upgrade to a detector and start hitting the shoreline. But for now, I really enjoy finding tent stakes and bottle caps and soda tabs and the occasional piece of jewelry. Found a set of keys, well, one key to be fair. It was for some laundry room. And I found a Zippo and a few items of jewelry. But yeah, I'll get there eventually. But yeah, just, this is it, just scanning away. Oh man, I freaking forgot to bring, all right, fine, I'll go over a couple of details. I wrote down a few fun facts to share with y'all. First hit, pay dirt. All right, I think it's probably right around here. You know what, I'm gonna brighten up my screen. I can barely see it. Please don't stop. Please don't stop. One more down. I just want to make the camera brighter, that's all. Please don't stop the video. Good, awesome. It's done that before, and I don't like to do a two-part. I just want to leave it all in one video, nice and clean for y'all, so you don't have to go from video to video. If any of my videos are multiple parts, it's my phone's fault. But anyway, I got a, here we are. Ooh, looks like a connector for a pole, you know, like an umbrella or tent. Just kind of hooks those two together. I find these fairly often. But I don't have the exact numbers, but I did look up the Venus rise and Venus set times. Again, if you're not new to my videos, I will, every time I'm out here metal detecting at night, I always show Venus still in the night sky. And one of my recent videos, I was asking myself, you know what, I wonder how long Venus is going to be out in the sky for this summer. I'm going to look that up and share it, just the details. But it's something like June 27th. That's where it will be. There's a fancy scientific term for it, but that's the day that Venus will set the latest at night, and it's somewhere around 11:30 at night. I cannot believe that Venus sets that late. It just surprises me because it's closer to the sun, so it always sets fairly close to the sun. I mean, Venus cannot be outside all night because Venus is in front of the Earth, not behind the Earth. So it can only be out so late. But yeah, I don't know why, it just surprised me. I don't ever remember seeing Venus out in the sky past like 10 o'clock until this year. And Venus will stay with us all summer. I want to say it was near the end of August. That's when Venus is going to finally start setting with the sun and then begin setting before the sun and rising in the morning right before the sun. Mars is also out right now. Again, I don't have the exact numbers. I'll share that tomorrow. But Mars is out in the night sky until like roughly midnight. Saturn's out too. Although I think it said that Saturn actually comes out later at night. I don't think it rises until like midnight or something like that. But Saturn's kind of tricky to see. If you have a if you have that Google Sky Map, I don't know if y'all have ever used that before, but Google Sky Map is pretty cool. It's not heavy in the data department. It's a pretty simple app. It's been around forever. I think I got it with my first phone. But if you use that app, it'll help you find where Saturn is located in the night sky, because you can see Saturn with the naked eye. The only issue with Saturn is that it's dim because it's so far away. And because of that, it could be mistaken for a star because it's just as bright as the stars. Check it out. Come on, focus. There we go. Focus. Nice. It is dirty, very dirty. So this is what I do. Scratch it, scratch. Oh man, I just got a fishy smell whiff. Woo! I hope that's not red tide, man. We've been dealing with red tide problems for the last couple of years. It was really bad last year. Like around the fall, I think it was. Maybe it was longer than that, but yeah, it was brutal, man, in some spots. All right. That's probably as good as it's gonna get. And there you have it. A rusty old tent stake. I'm gonna add to my pile. I gotta be over 300 of those by now. I've been metal detecting consistently for a little over a month now. Started doing these videos a couple of weeks ago. Regardless, I'm out here. I was already using a tripod for my light, for my night light. I've gotten more sophisticated with my lighting since then, but I mean, when I first started, I just figured, I mean, what the hell? I've already got my phone. I've already got a tripod. Granted, I did buy a new one that was the one that came with a ring light, but you know, being out here anyway, I mean, why not just film it? And I do get people coming up to me a lot. They'll ask me those typical questions. Find anything good yet? What's the best thing you found so far? How long you been doing it? Did you just get out here? I enjoy talking to people though. I don't mind when people come up to me. Sometimes they have kind of a standoffish type posture. Like they really want, like they just can't help themselves but ask me a couple of metal detecting questions. But you could just tell that that they don't want to bug me or bother me, but you know, I'm always up for chatting with people. I don't know why, but for some weird reason, every time somebody comes up to me while I'm actively looking, not scanning, but when I'm actually digging, they come up and they'll just watch me. For some reason, I've got the worst luck. If somebody stops and they look at me, it takes forever for me to dig something out. Not sure why. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. All right. Oh. I like that sound. Not my favorite tone. It's the tone of just iron, which means it's gonna, sorry, I don't know if you can even see that or not, but that means that whatever this is, it's not worth anything. But I'm gonna dig it up anyway, because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the thrill of the dig. Here we are. Wow. Direct hit. What could it be now? Is this it? Ah, soda tab. Oh no, that's a, hang on, let me, I think that's Michelob, right? Yeah, I think that's Michelob. No, Michelob. And any of you participating in the boycott of beer, and if you haven't heard, add Miller Lite to the list. Because they've jumped on the woke train as well. Oh man, I'm not gonna remember the gun manufacturer's name. But I'm on Twitter all the time, so I see all this drama as it always unfolds. But there's a gun manufacturer, it's H&K, right? I think it's H&K. Heckler and Koch. Heckler and Koch, that's who it is. K-O-C-H. Yeah, whoever their PR lady is, or head of marketing or whatever, she was using their Twitter profile to get into arguments with just regular, everyday Twitter users. Pretty much throwing out just those typical buzzwords like misogyny and how dare you treat women this way and yada yada yada. I don't know if I want to dig this up. It's in the weeds. Let me see if, oh, okay. Now I might dig if it's right there, but I'm not going to dig if I'm going to hit roots. You got to be careful if you're out here metal detecting around the sand dunes, because it is against state law to dig or walk on the dunes. Obviously people do it all the time, but I'm not one of them. Here we go, sweet. That's a root. See what I mean? Gotta be careful. Ah, what in the hell is a tent stake doing way over here? All right, another really rusty one, but hey, something's better than nothing. All right, put that away. And what I mean by way over here This is way over here. We're way back here in the back of the beach. Doesn't really make sense for somebody to set up their setup here. Oh, that's gonna be this. Cigarettes, just the foil. I've got a portable trash can. Drop it in there. Last I checked, the water was 81 degrees. I haven't checked yet this week, but I want to say it was Sunday that I checked it last. It said it was 81, so it is warm enough to swim. It is gorgeous. And the water's really talking today. A lot of splashing. Waves be crashing. My own jackpot. Oh crap, I completely forgot. Yesterday I played the Florida Lotto. Yesterday it was the day they draw. It being Wednesday. And the jackpot is somewhere around, it's like roughly about 35 million. It's like 35.75 million or something like that, which is a huge jackpot for the Florida Lotto. But I didn't check my numbers. And honestly, I didn't even check the website to see if anybody hit or not. I'm assuming they didn't. Nobody's hit since like Christmas, pretty much. And here we are on the 18th of May. So somebody's got to win, right? I know. The lottery is just a tax on stupid people. I get it. And that is that is like the famous words of a stupid person. Well, somebody's got to win. If you only buy one ticket, it's only $2, even though you only have a 1 in 20 million chance of winning, which is so insanely astronomically, it's not ever going to happen. But yeah, somebody's got to win. I mean, it sounds ridiculous because it kind of is, but it is true though. It doesn't make it not true. But I usually don't play unless the lotto starts to climb up, I don't know, 15 million, maybe 20. That's when it starts to catch my attention. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll buy one. Why not? I could spare $2, even though it still pisses me off that they raised the price from $1 to $2. Like, when you guys ratchet up stuff like that, that's not helping fight the inflation problem. Y'all freaking realize that. Well, we had to raise it because of inflation. No, not really. They actually raised the price of the tickets like around the middle of 2020 before we started really dealing with inflation. Speaking of inflation, did you all hear about the egg prices? Apparently well, I don't know about egg prices in the grocery store, but the market data, it's like the stock market for eggs. I'm not sure what it's called. I just saw a quick article on it, but they said that the price/value of eggs is crashing right now. Good news for the consumer. Which of course means that they've upped production after that, what was it, bird flu or something, or avian flu. They had to kill off tens of millions of chickens, and that's what jacked up the price of eggs, because supply and demand. But now they're getting into a situation where they've got a huge supply, and now they have to, thank God, I think, they're gonna have to lower their prices to be able to sell all these eggs. Which is nice, because just the other day, and I know I'm repeating myself for those of you who were tuning back in from yesterday, but the price for Miracle Whip, at least here, and I'm assuming mayonnaise is probably the same price. I mean, they're both made with egg. But the price for Miracle Whip for a 19-ounce squeeze tube, $9.19. And your standard plastic jar, I believe it's like 30 ounces of Miracle Whip, was $9.49. The last price, it was like $5.50, which is still insane for Miracle Whip. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think pre-COVID, 2019 Miracle Whip, there was no way it was over $5. I mean, it might have been like $4 for the large jar, maybe $4.50, but not freaking $9.50. That is absolutely unreasonable, and I'm sure it has to do with the egg prices. But the thing that's irritating is now that egg prices are collapsing, they're falling, will Miracle Whip, that was a false reading, wet sand, it throws false readings, but will Miracle Whip come off their prices and bring it back down to where it should be, where people are used to paying the price that they're asking for? Of course they won't. They never bring down food prices. Once they jack up food prices, they never bring them back down. And yeah, like I guess in the 1970s, you know, the cost of stuff, I mean, some stuff quadrupled. I think milk was one of those items. I mean, it went from like $1 to like $3 or $4 or something like that. I mean, I wasn't around in the 70s. I've heard about it. Somebody told me that the prices back then, they multiplied in cost. People were really freaking out. So did food prices drop after the inflation in the 70s, or did they just remain the same? I'm assuming most of it probably just remained the same, but maybe not. Maybe they did come off the food prices and bring it back down to reasonable levels. But in this day and age, with the amount of greed that's going on and the losses companies are taking because people have to tighten their budgets, I would be really surprised if they lowered their prices for any food brand. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. And how do you fix the problem? Well, that is the question indeed. That is a big problem to fix. I don't really want to get into the weeds with that. I'm out here to enjoy myself, not get myself all riled up politically. It looks like old dude is packing up his beach stuff. They rent those out. You can come up here, and I don't know the price, but it's probably reasonable. Like what? What would be reasonable for one of those chairs for the whole day? Like $10 maybe? I don't think I'd pay more than $10. That seems reasonable. Well, he does include umbrellas, which I wouldn't be surprised. They're like, umbrellas are extra. $5 extra. Man, talk about a nice, awesome living. Just hang out at the beach all day, and people give you money and you let them sit on your beach chairs. Like jet ski rentals, that'd be a pretty cool job. I'm sure that'd probably be stressful with the insurance and the liability and the risk that you got to take and all that. You know, I'm sure it's not all it's cracked up to be. Offering fun tourist services on the beach, I'm sure there's a lot of headache that comes with it, which might explain why you don't see people offering jet ski rides every 500 feet on the beach. But they actually might have a law. I mean, like you do have to, in some way or another, I'm assuming it's a license or something, like you do have to get some sort of permission from either the county or the state. But if you do want to ride jet skis here, if you find yourself in Clearwater Beach, Bel Air Beach, Indian Rocks Beach, Indian Shores, which is where I'm at now, or Reddington Shores, Madeira Beach, Johns Pass, Treasure Island, St. Pete Beach, Paso Grill, any of those locations, I can't say that every single location has jet ski rentals. But if you're in this area, the St. Pete Clearwater area, you could go to Clearwater Beach, Pier 60, not on the pier, but it's kind of hard to explain, but there's the Gulf and there's the harbor. If you look at it on the map, Clearwater Beach, it's on an island, basically. And on the west side, that's the Gulf, of course, and then on the east side of it, that's the harbor. And over on the harbor side, by the roundabout, there's a roundabout over there. You can actually rent. There's jet skis there. You can take sunset cruises. You can take sunset dinner cruises. You can take a pirate ship cruise. They offer a lot of cool stuff there. Johns Pass is the same way. They offer a lot of fun stuff. Parasailing, jet skiing. A lot of pretty much the same stuff that they have up there in Clearwater Beach. And the distance, well, drive time, assuming traffic is not nightmarish, to go from Johns Pass to Clearwater Beach, probably about maybe a half an hour. Honestly, would not even take that long as if traffic's not that bad. Because one good thing about Gulf Boulevard is that the traffic lights are few and far between. But you might get stuck with people crossing the road because there is an obscene amount of crossing signs, pedestrian crossing. And as soon as they hit the button, the lights flash right away. So that could add drive time if you're cruising Gulf Boulevard here. Man, where is the stuff? I haven't hit anything in a while. What is this, like the 7th pass and I haven't hit anything yet? Weather's not bad. It's a bit hot though, I will say that. It is a bit hot out today. Maybe 90, 89, maybe 90. Feels a little bit more humid than yesterday. But at least the breeze is consistent. It's steady. You know, maybe 5 miles an hour or something like that. It's a very light breeze. Oh, here we are. Freaking finally. Hopefully it's something interesting. Hopefully it's not another wrapped up piece of foil or something. Nicorette gum. I found some Nicorette gum the other day. Well, it's on. 4 bars. It hit the tripod. That was the beep. Ha. Whoa. Hope I didn't just break whatever it was. I heard a pop. Oh no, it's a steak. Got it. At least I think it is. Yep, it is. Whoa, it's really in there though. Holy cow, must be stuck to something. No, it's just really, really in there. Jeez. That was the hardest one to remove of any steak that I've found so far, out of the hundreds that I've dug up already. That was the one that was in there the best. That one did not want to come out. Makes me wonder why. Well, yeah, I was to say, the sand's probably just packed in here pretty tight. It is. That must have been why. Yeah, there's nothing. Alrighty. I'm gonna put this thing up. Alright, where's my wrench? Pop the sand off. Still on. Turn that off. And lift off. Sweet, sweet. What was that? 4th? I think it might have been the 4th item I found. 3rd, maybe. Yeah, just like yesterday, that standing water, the water that's just there. Obviously the tide's low. It's a low tide. But that standing water that's there, throughout the day, the sun heats it and it turns it into bath water. I'll bet if I were to walk in that standing water there where those kids are playing, I bet it's probably going to feel like 90 degrees. It's really warm. It's very pleasant. It's nice, especially if you're not, if you're a pansy like me when it comes to cold water. If it's below 80 degrees, I don't even mess with it. But yeah, but it is kind of nice to have that shallow pool of water right there because it's always really warm. Plus, it's good if you have little kids too. 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. I mean, that's absolutely perfect. I mean, look at that. Like a perfect spot for kids to play. There's no fish there. They're not going to get bit by anything. You can keep an eye on them. They're not freaked out by the waves because there are no waves right there, at least not at the moment. Not until the tide rises. It's just a private helicopter. It's not Coast Guard or anything. It's just one of those tour helicopters. Don't quote me on it, but I think it's $100 each. I think maybe 150. But it might also depend on where you go. I don't know if they're there anymore, but there is a helicopter tour place in Orlando. They'll take you up for $50 each, but you only fly around for like 3 minutes. It is kind of ridiculous. Like they'll take you up in the air. You'll do just one big circle, basically just around the property where the helicopter is located. They'll kind of do one lap around the block, so to speak, and they'll set it right back down, and there you go. That's it. It's mainly really not really for those who want to enjoy the view. I mean, I guess it is for that too, but you're not getting the view for more than a few minutes. I think some of it has to do with bragging rights, like, oh yeah, I've been on a helicopter before. What, you've never been on a helicopter? Well, I've been on a helicopter. I've never been on a helicopter. I've only been on one train. It was an Amtrak in Los Angeles. My sister and my dad used to live out there. My sister lived in Koreatown. My dad lived in Riverside. They've since left. They've been gone a while. But that was back in 2014. My dad didn't want to fight traffic, so he made me take the Amtrak to Riverside, which I don't blame him. More cigarette foil. Because I think it would have taken like 2 hours or something like that to pick me up. So I took the train. I thought that would have been a better option, just for the fact that I'd never been on a train. I was one of those kids. I always wanted to be an engineer, a train engineer, when I grew up. So yeah, it's kind of unbelievable that I'd never been on a train until 2014. I've been obsessed with trains since I was little. Been on airplanes. Pretty much I think everybody's been on the plane for the most part, unless you're either terrified of planes or you just have no need or desire to go anywhere. And hey, that's perfectly cool too. If you've never flown before, taking off is fun, but for the most part, it's not really all it's cracked up to be. Especially post-COVID. I mean, you don't have to wear the masks anymore, I don't believe, but just the lines, waiting, you have to get there 3 hours early if you're international. Honestly, I would get there even earlier than that if you're leaving the country. Now they're charging for freaking carry on in some cases. What is it, like $35 now, depending on who you're flying with? I don't know, but and then check luggage, what is it, like $80 now or something? That's absolutely insane. The last time I flew, when was that? I think it actually would have been to LA in 2014. Last time I flew was then. Checked luggage, didn't cost anything, and my standby luggage didn't cost anything. Unless it was over, what's the weight? Is it 45 pounds, 50 pounds? There is a weight limit. If you go over the weight limit, then it costs something, 50, 60, whatever. People used to, I'm sure they probably still do, but people used to cheat the system by putting on layers and layers and layers of clothes, trying to shed the weight in their luggage, just put on their luggage, literally put it on. You know, that's pretty freaking greedy though. I mean, it should be all part of the package. If they want to charge $80 for standby luggage, just factor it into the ticket price. I don't know, maybe they did studies and surveys and stuff, and maybe they, you know, they obviously know what they're talking about, but it seems to me that an airline that says free standby luggage or free carry-on luggage, sounds to me like that would sell more tickets than an airline who charges $80 less for a ticket, but it costs $80 to check your luggage. I don't know, what do you think? People like to see the word free. A lot of people get pretty stupid when it comes to the word free. All right. see what we got here. How deep is this? Should be able to find it with this. Here we are. Is it a bottle cap? Oh no, it's just a little piece of metal from a sparkler. I find those from time to time. Maybe left over from New Year's. But whatever the case, parents bring out sparklers, kids play with the sparklers. When the sparkler stops sparking, they just drop it and they keep running around. It happens. It's just something that metal detectorists like me have to deal with. Unless you're like most metal detectorists and you just set your metal detector to find only gold and silver. I'm sure most people probably do that. I've got mine set for everything. No matter what it is, metal, I'm looking for it. All right, let me check the time here. 46 minutes into the video. All right, 6:05. Good, I'm good on time. Got about a half hour, give or take. I'm hoping I'll find at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 more items. Something like that. Got some cloud cover going on, not too bad. Definitely mostly blue skies. We only had a 10% chance for rain today, so that's not happening. But by the weekend, our rain chances climb up to 40%, which that's the rainy season calling. It's on its way. It's pretty cool if you look at Tampa Bay's 7-day forecast leading up to June 1st. It doesn't do it every year, but almost every year you can look at the 7-day forecast and it'll have the rain chances at 0%, next day 0%, 10%, 0%, 0%, 10%. And then all of a sudden, the very next day, 40%, 50%, 60%, 50%, 60%, 60%, 50%. It's like a light switch. The rainy season is not on until it is on, and it's just from one day to the next. It's bone dry today, tomorrow, 60% chance of rain, and it's on its way from June 1st until September 30th. Give or take a week. Some years we'll get the rain. I think last year actually worked out that way. I think last year the rainy season started a week early. And judging by the 7-day outlook that I checked out earlier, it looks like we might maybe get lucky and get the rainy season early this year too. That'd be nice. I'm all about the rainy season. I'm obsessed with lightning. I used to go out and get pictures of lightning photography. I really should get back into that again, but I don't know, camera, it's expensive. I've already got the metal detecting thing going on. But yeah, 100%, absolutely, starting June 1st, anytime I go metal detecting at night, it's probably gonna be flashing lightning. Just about every night. Unless we get stuck with a really crappy, uneventful rainy season. It's happened, but I really can't think of a time when we went weeks or even multiple days in a row without lightning flashing in the sky somewhere at night. You can look up to the north, south, east, west, in any direction, there's always going to be one storm somewhere that's firing off lightning after dark. Because the storms here, they're always small, just little pop-up storms. They'll pop up, they'll rain themselves out, and they'll just disappear. But once the sun goes down, they start to fizzle out. But often we do get like a main rain event for the day. It's called the sea breeze. And we usually get that where I live in western Pinellas. We usually get rain from the sea breeze, like around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Just depends on the weather pattern. Some days it's earlier, some days it's later. But generally speaking, it's roughly in between like 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. But yeah, I love it. But one thing that does suck is the The heat and the humidity, man. The humidity is relentless. If humidity bothers you, then Florida is definitely not for you if you've never been here. That is something you really have to get used to quickly, or else you're going to be miserable here. Unless you just stay inside all the time, and if that's the case, then why would you even come here anyway? What's the point if you're just going to live your daily life indoors? I mean, you could do that anywhere. I mean, indoors is indoors. It really doesn't matter what state you're in. But yeah, it's like 89 degrees right now. I'm barely breaking a sweat. Got a little bit of sweat going on, but I don't even notice the humidity until I bring it up. I mean, I could definitely tell it's very humid right now, but I don't know, it just feels normal to me. It's just another day. A day on the beach. Powder white sand. We have some of the whitest sand in the world, but from what I've read, the whitest beach in the world is Siesta Key in Sarasota. But yeah, I could definitely vouch for that. I've been there a couple times, and I mean, yeah, their sand, it's just like this pretty much. It's just, you honestly wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. Just, you know, the untrained eye. It's just as white as the beach that we have here. But what makes it whiter is that the sand at Siesta Key has a slightly higher quartz content than our beaches here. It's probably gonna be that, just more trash. What is that? I don't even know, I've never seen this thing before. BioTrue, 1 day. Was it like a multivitamin or something? RX only. Oh, contact lens. Oh, okay, got it. Or contacts. At least that's my guess. But yeah, Siesta Key, it's like 99% quartz. That's what makes up the beach. It's just ground down quartz into sand. Whereas our beaches, they're like 98% quartz, not 99%. I mean, I'm not giving accurate numbers. I mean, like, it could be like 96%. It's in the 90s, the quartz content. That's what makes our beaches so white. Because our sand is almost pure quartz. So I read, at least. That's what I heard. Yeah, it definitely dropped off over here. Yesterday, it was lit. I was on fire digging stuff up yesterday. Only out here for an hour and found 20 items. It's not shaping up to be the case today. But hey, I'm perfectly fine. If I don't find anything else between now and the time I have to go, hey, that's fine with me. I got to come out here and get a little more vitamin D. Enjoying the breeze. All right, no dice again, huh? Let me just do a quick pass here. Okay, here we go. Well, maybe not. Oh, okay. There we go. That's saying a penny. Could be a penny. Gotta watch out for fire ants. I see them walking around, crawling around. I think it's about there. And after I get this dug up, I'm gonna do a quick pass down. Oh yeah, those are definitely fire ants. Tell by their color. Oh, that's a root. I don't want to dig up roots. Whoa! Look at this. It's a shell, or not a shell, it's an actual bullet and casing. Sounds, no, there's still a little bit of powder in it left. It's probably a 5.56 or a 2.23 rifle round. What the hell is a freaking round doing out here? Not just the casing, but the actual bullet is still in here. It's still got the tip. It's not hollow point. FMJ. This is going to be Is that L? LK03. Hold on. I'm going to come off the view here. Yeah, 556.556 something 43 45 45 something 4. It's definitely 556. And then looks like IK or LK03. I don't know if that can be. Yeah, there you go. It shows it. So yeah. Wow, I never expected to find out. What the hell was somebody out here doing with this thing? It made me wonder if it was like if it opens, if there might be like if it's like some secret stash type thing. But no, like listen, I don't know if it can pick up or not, but I mean, yeah, you can hear the gunpowder in there. Holy shit! I didn't expect to find an unused round, firearm round, a rifle round. That's pretty wicked. If it was in better shape, I would just drop it into my box full of rounds, but that one does not look like. Maybe it will fire. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I will do that. I don't know. Next time I go to the shooting range, maybe I will bring that along just to see if it will work. There'd only be a few people who would probably understand the backstory. Me finding it out here on the beach, my daughter's gonna get a kick out of that. I don't think it's illegal to possess ammunition. And starting July 1st, I can't wait. I still have to go gun shopping for a new sidearm. I've already got guns. I've got multiple guns, but I don't have one that I feel comfortable carrying around with concealed. I got to get something a little smaller. So I'm not a revolver guy. I'm not into the revolvers. I'm more into magazines. But I'm thinking about getting a Glock, possibly. Not exactly sure what kind, like 17 or something. Not 100%. That's why I'm going to the store. I'm going to go to the gun store. I'm just going to talk with the dude and be like, look, July 1st is coming up. And for those of you who don't know, July 1st, that's the first day that Florida residents are allowed to conceal carry without any permits. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Or you could just get your permit. You know, it is a good idea that you learn how to shoot and all that, but it's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that, you know, we're getting a little bit more of our Second Amendment rights back. That's the point. The Constitution doesn't say you have to take a freaking course. It is responsible to do so. Unless somebody taught you. Here we go. It's going to be kind of deep. So yeah, I mean, I've already budgeted for it. I've already set money aside. Like I'm good to go. Oh, cool. There you go. Piece of metal. It's like a hook. I don't know. But yeah, I just got to make time for it. I got to go out there and. But I don't want to put a handgun on my waist. I mean, I've got back issues, and my weight is way down. I only weigh like in the 120s right now. Mainly because I quit drinking beer. Back in August, I used to drink 3 to 4 beers each night, and I drank Jai Alai, and each one of those is like 350 calories. So you do the math. Needless to say, when I quit drinking beer, I shed weight quickly. And to wear a sidearm on my belt, I just think it would feel really bulky. Plus, I hate belts anyway. I don't wear jeans. I'm always wearing shorts, like gym shorts and board shorts. I'm a man of comfort. So I'm thinking I'll probably get a holster for under my arm, like armpit type situation. But I've never carried because, you know, I just haven't. So I'm gonna go talk to a couple experts, let them know what I'm into. Like, just, half the reason for me to carry will be for self-defense, and the other half is just, exercising my Second Amendment rights. I'm a huge proponent for the Second Amendment and open carry. I think it's ridiculous. They didn't go far enough. It should have been open and concealed carry. It's another one of those, my guess, it's a cylinder, but my guess is that two tent poles, one goes in here, one goes here. Like how you take them apart. I'm assuming that's what that's for. It's just a connector for tent poles, my guess. But yeah, I don't think that they went far enough at all with the permitless concealed carry. But you got to take the wins where you get them. That is a good first step. That is progress. We are starting to get our constitutional rights back little by little, which have been eroded beyond belief in recent years. Hell, in the last 100 years, really. And starting July 1st, officially more than half the country will be some form of constitutional carry, or otherwise known as permitless carry. I don't really like the term constitutional carry, mainly just because constitutional carry, you're allowed to carry whatever the hell you want. You can carry a freaking rocket launcher around with you if you wanted, RPG. But you can't. And it's because they've eroded our Second Amendment rights. You can't buy a machine gun unless it's manufactured before, what's the year, 1987? And if you do find one, it's going to cost you like 50 grand. But they still let you grandfather that stuff in and whatnot. But, but it's ridiculous, I think. I think it is. I think everybody should be allowed to open carry. I don't think it's a great idea to open carry. It kind of paints a target on you. Because if somebody wants to do a mass shooting or whatever the hell they feel like doing, you're going to be the first one they take out because they know that you got a gun on you. That's why it's better to conceal carry. Because nobody knows what you got. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Maybe I'll get around to doing that this weekend. This weekend's going to be awesome. I've got no plans. It's going to be like a mini vacation for me. I have no obligations that I know of. No plans. My mom, she's renting a car, and the reason she's renting a car is because she leased a car. Don't even get me started with that. I think that's just beyond insane to freaking lease cars. But this is coming from a guy who paid $1,100 for my car back in 2015, and I'm still, if it's still running 20 years from now, I'm still going to be driving it. It is so liberating to not have to deal with car payments. I'm telling you, it is so wonderful. So nice. So nice. But yeah, so somebody T-boned her, had a stop sign, dented her door. So the car's still legally drivable. There's just a dent in the door. So she took it in, explained what happened. They said, no problem, we'll fix it. Long story short. And talked to her insurance company. They said, okay, you can rent a car. You do have to pay for it up front, but we will reimburse you. So she did that, and she got a call. Either that or she called the dealership, but she spoke with them today, and they said that her car is not going to be ready until June 18th. Today is May 18th. That is a month from now. They have already had her car for 4 weeks. 4 weeks already. That is unreasonable. So I told her if they're going to hold with that, if they're going to refuse to budge and not give you your car within the next week, we're going to call the Consumer Protection Bureau or somebody. Better Business Bureau. I think Consumer Protection is the way to go. I think that's an actual, like a real agency. Better Business Bureau is just, it's not even a real government agency. It's just some private whatever, at least as far as I understand it. So I'm going to go up there with her this weekend and talk to them and be like, dude, that's unreasonable. Collision repair, I've looked it up. Multiple sources. Collision repair, the rule of thumb, is that it should take no more than 1 week. For most vehicles, it can be repaired within like what, like 2 days, 3, 4 days, depending on what exactly they have to fix on it. Her car it's a 2020 Honda Civic. You know, I'm not talking about a 1983 Cutlass Supreme or something, you know, you're really gonna have to dig hard to find the parts for. We're talking about a car that's only 3 years old. The parts can't be that hard to acquire. Now, I get there's supply chain issues and supply shortages and China this and Taiwan that. But 8 weeks? And she has to pay for her rental car day after day for those 8 weeks. I'm like, Mom, that is unreasonable. That is insane. I don't know, man. I would have already been in there, been like, oh, hell no. So I told her, I was like, you know what? Just go back to the dealership, tell them to give you your car back, and when the part shows up, then you'll bring it in. Problem solved. And she said, well, I already asked them that, and they said that they already have the dashboard taken apart because they had to take off the dashboard to get the door hinge, to take off the door hinge. I was like, oh man, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, no, that's unreasonable. That's ridiculous. Soda tap. So I was like, no, they're gonna have to put it back together one way or another. I was like, you know what? I'll just go up there with you this weekend. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna try to problem solve for the dealership. I'm just gonna go and say, look, the rule of thumb is usually a week. It should take a week to repair a dent in a door, not 8 weeks, not 2 months. That is unreasonable. And if they won't budge, then we'll have to contact somebody. And I have never contacted the consumer protection, whatever. Never done it, don't know how to do it, don't even know if it's even effective or not. Knowing our government today, it probably isn't. Probably won't do shit. But you know, something's got to be done. That's ridiculous, man. So what do you all think? 10 steak. That's cool. I actually got to get going probably. Let's see what time it is. Yeah, 6:30. All right, I got to go. All right, but yeah, what do y'all think? What would you do if you were in my shoes? I mean, is that unreasonable? Here, let me turn this off. All right. I don't think it's unreasonable to go in there, and I'm not saying that I want to throw threats around. Like, you give me the car now. I'm not going to go Karen on them. That's just not my personality. You know, I'll stay calm. I'll stay nice and polite, and I will ask them a few questions. Well, is it possible? Could you do this by chance? Could you do that by chance? Why the freaking crap do they have to take off the entire dashboard just to freaking take a hinge off of the door? That's one problem that I have with new cars. That's why I drive a 1999 vehicle, because it's easy to work on. It's easy to maintain. I can do it myself. I don't have to have special keys to undo this bolt and take off that bolt. I don't have to, you know, strip half the car away just to be able to get to a starter cable or something. Very unreasonable. To have to take the whole freaking dashboard off just to get to the door hinge. Like, come on, man. But they do that on purpose. They do that on purpose because if it requires all that work to take off the door hinge, they can charge for labor. You know, it's a win-win for the mechanics, even though they're squeezing out mechanics from what I've heard. I heard new cars these days, they're actually making them, like they're starting to use proprietary tools, like socket sets that are like star-shaped, kind of like how Apple does their thing, like how they got, like how there can, like you have to have like a special tool kit in order to work on them. I heard that's what they're starting to do with like, I mean, I don't have an exact maker offhand. I overheard somebody talking about it. Either that or I listened to a show and somebody brought that up. But yeah, apparently the world of mechanics it's a shrinking world. That the new cars that are coming out these days, you can only take them to the dealership to get worked on because special tools are required in order to change whatever it is that needs changed. That's not good, man. That's going to cause a huge problem in the industry. I mean, I don't really have a bleeding heart for mechanics. I mean, a lot of mechanics are complete and utter douchebags, especially when it comes to somebody like my mom who goes in to get something worked on. But still, it's a necessary industry. They're needed. They offer competition. If they squeeze out all of the auto mechanics and everybody's at the mercy of the dealership, I mean, you all know how much it costs to have your car worked on at the dealership. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy how much they charge. But see, they don't want you to own cars. They want you to own nothing and be happy. They don't want you to own a car. They want you to lease every car you have. They're trying to get to that point. And they will get us there really quick unless we push back, which hopefully we will. Because come hell or high water, I'm not getting rid of my car unless it completely dies. Because I happen to enjoy my car. I know my car very well. I've changed just about everything that can be changed on it, to be honest. Actually, speaking of which, I just changed my spark plug wires yesterday. Sort of. The wires that I had bought, they weren't a perfect fit. They snapped on well, but they were a little bit longer than they should be. Like on the distributor cap, they were on a little loosely. And after a few months, about last week, my engine started sputtering a little bit. And it was reminiscent of when one of my spark plugs quit working. Kind of sounded like a lawnmower engine, like wasn't good. It was the spark plug. But this time it was the spark plug wire. So I took off the new ones, put on the old ones, with the exception of the fourth spark plug wire that was broken, burnout, faulty, whatever you want to call it. It's one of my that's why I changed them. One of them had gone bad. So I put on 3 of the old ones and just left one of the new ones on, and it runs fine. Just some trial and error. You got a sand spur in my shoe. All right. Ooh. All right, last look at the beach. Here it goes. Ooh, I'm starting to get hungry. I had Chinese food yesterday. We had General Tso's chicken and 2 egg rolls. It was good eating. Little shop up here. If you're in the Seminole area and you're looking for some good takeout food, there's a place called Golden Star. They've been there since I first moved here back in 2005. Which is funny, they have a couple of kids. And when I started going there, their daughter was like 2-3 years old, very little. But she was there. And I saw her grow up over the years. It's pretty cool. She's still there and she's in college now. I thought that was really neat. So yeah, it's a special place for me. Just haven't been going there for 18 years now? I think it's been 18 years. Yeah, 18 years. Holy shit. That's a long time. But yeah, they make really good sweet and sour chicken, which I don't know, I'm sure it's probably just, I'm gonna hit this button. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hit the button. There's too many cars coming. Sorry, y'all. Gotta do it. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, I was gonna say actually that sweet and sour chicken, it's the same no matter where you go. But honestly, that's not true. That's really not true. I've had sweet and sour chicken where the sauce was watered down, where it wasn't as sweet as it normally would be. The chicken was chewy. But Golden Star, knock on wood, I have yet to get sweet and sour chicken from them that wasn't absolutely scrumptious. Knock, knock, knock on wood. All right, there's the car. I don't want to show my license plate for obvious reasons. I did get a bike rack though. I did share that. I think I shared it on Twitter, without showing my plate. I'll try to show you here. There's the bike rack. Right there, bike rack. So I'm gonna take my bike to the beach to go metal detecting. It'll save time walking, more time detecting. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Don't have to. Do whatever you do, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.